you talked about the scene, and that is one stage, I guess, of the whole BDSM lineup, the play lineup of how this works. Would you mind explaining to the listeners how the sequence of events and how this takes place?
Yeah. So negotiation is an absolute must. No one practices BDSM and sort of says, show up at my house at 8 and like, we'll see what happens. Negotiation is a big part of the process. And it's a really good opportunity to communicate, where people basically talk about what roles they're interested in playing, what activities they like to do. Some people have what's called a yes, no, maybe list. Yes, I'm really interested in these things. No, absolutely not. Maybe under the right conditions.
And these are things they share with their partner?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So people swap yes, no, maybe lists. And then they talk about limits and boundaries. You know, someone may say, I like to be spanked, but don't spank me with a hairbrush. Or I like to be nibbled on, but don't bite me. Or don't leave marks on my body, right? Because some of these activities leave marks on the body. So you set up your limits. And then from there, you kind of decide, this is the thing, is you really decide collaboratively and cooperatively what's going to happen in the scene.
And this is all during the negotiation.
Yeah, it's all during the negotiation. So it's sort of built into how we play, is we start with, what are you into? What are you not into? What are you looking for? Some people may also in that time set an intention or a goal for the scene, right? I would like to see how many cane strokes I can take. I would like to see how you can push my psychological limits. I would like to explore this other role play identity that's not part of my own identity in real life. Like a puppy.
And then when they're finished, aftercare.
Yeah, aftercare, another huge part. Aftercare it's really individual. I think that when people talk most about aftercare, they're like, oh, aftercare, you sort of stroke your lover's head and you tell them they were really good and you give them water and a blanket and a snack. And those are kind of some go-to things that people do for aftercare. But aftercare is really determined by the top and the bottom and who needs what in that moment.
And sometimes it could be either one of the partners, not just the one receiving, but the one giving.
Exactly. Right. The top could need some aftercare, which could be, I want to be alone, which could be, I want to process my feelings right away. And then also for me, aftercare kind of extends, to a couple days later or a week, especially if you've had an intense scene. You're going to call and just check in with someone.
Sure.
And if it's a regular partner, there's an opportunity to like debrief. There's an opportunity to say, hey, I really love this part. We tried that out. Maybe not interested in having that happen again. You said something or did something that sort of piqued my curiosity about something else. Or I would like you to be a little more intense with your dominance because I feel like you started and then I think we can go a little bit further, right?
Sure. Yeah. So a lot of people, their idea of BDSM comes from 50 Shades of Grey.